Hey guys, Ben here from Cultured Kiwi. So if you're anything like me, weather like this means that it's time for you to get indoors and develop your films. And if you're not like me, then you should probably get out of here because this will be boring. It's the second time I've shot this video. The first time ended up like this.
Oh no.
And that means I had to go and reshoot all the shots and develop the film all over again. If you want to see how I shot the shots, I took the Olympus OM1 out in the Hackney Marshes and made a film about that. You can see that linked somewhere up the top or down below. In this video I'm going to teach you very quickly how to develop film at home. It's very simple. First I'm going to run through what you need to buy, and second I'm going to run through what you need to do. It's that easy, so let's get going. Before we develop our film, we're going to need to stop off at the store or Amazon if you're lucky enough to have that in your area and pick up a few items to get started. First and most obviously we need a Paterson Tank. This is where we do all of our developing. We need 3 measuring jugs to mix our separate chemicals, around half to 1 litre in volume. Next up is a thermometer. This is how we measure the temperature. Warmer water means a faster developing time. A film changing bag where we can take the film from the canister and put it into the Paterson tank without exposing it to the light. We need some film clips. You can also use clothes pegs for this, so this is a non-essential. A timer. For this I just use my phone, so hopefully you've already got one of them. Next up is a pocket knife or a bottle opener to break open the canister. So that's all you need basically, but I put on here you can also get a kit that has everything included within it for around £50, but I think these are slightly overpriced, so it's better to buy them all individually. Next up on our shopping list are the chemicals that we need to do the development process. First up is the developer. For this I use ILFOSOL 3, but there is a number of different developers on the market. This is the cheapest. For £8 you can do 16 rolls of film. Next up is a Stop Bath. This is reusable and will change colour once it's exhausted, but you can just keep using it over and over and over. So £5. A fixer, £14, will do 25 rolls of film, and it's again reusable, so you can just keep going with it. And finally an antistatic, which you use in the last wash of the film just to stop any dust sticking to it as it's drying over time. So once you've picked up all of that, we can move on and start developing. So if you're wondering what happened last time, basically I used old chemicals that have been sitting in the cupboard for 3 years, and inevitably
And we'll see what happens.
I've got this old sock here. I'm just going to put it up. It's pretty obvious when you look at the footage. So onwards and upwards. I like to start by filling my jugs with water. You want to aim at water around 20 degrees centigrade, and while we're checking the temperature of this we can move on to our changing bag. This is a double layered dark room essentially, with armholes that you can put your arm inside that allows you to work in the dark. We start by putting inside the spool our film canister, a pocket knife, and our development tank, the Paterson tank. Zip it up, and we're ready to go. First of all, I must stress this happens inside the bag, not outside the bag. Do not expose this to light. Open the film canister with the bottle opener, and you'll feel this inside. This has the film wrapped around it. We take this canister, we find the end, we put it inside here. You'll see there's a runway here for you to run the film onto, and when you hear the click of it running over the ball bearings, you can start to wind the film on until you reach the end, and it will be taped to here. So then I use the scissors and cut it free. Once you have the film loaded onto the spool, you can take the tank and feed the spool into the tank, and then you put the lid on. It doesn't matter if the top is on. This basically just allows water to go in, or liquids, but not light. You see light goes down here, it doesn't come through, but the liquid can come through and filter from the bottom. That's the hard part out of the way, I promise. From here on in, it's chemistry and fun. The recipe I'm using today is for a black and white film shot at 400, specifically Tri-X, but you could use any film you want. It calls for 7.5 minutes of development time with agitations on the minute for about 10 seconds. then a quick stop bath for 15 seconds, and finally a fixer for 3 minutes with agitations every minute. Start by checking the temperature of your water and making sure it's around 20 degrees centigrade. Then find the ratio in which you need to mix the chemicals. For Ilford Developer, it's 1 part Developer plus 9 parts water. So here I've taken half a litre, which is 10 parts of 50 mils. I remove 50 mils, which is my 1 part. I then pour back in 1 part Developer, back to half a litre, which leaves 9 parts water, the exact ratio. Repeat this process for the other chemicals using the ratios in which they require, and then we can move on. Set your phone to never turn off. This is important as we're going to use it for our timer and we don't want to be greeted with a black screen. Start the timer, pour in the chemicals, and as soon as you've finished pouring in the chemicals, begin the agitation process. This involves 10 seconds of slowly inverting the tank, followed by some firm taps. This helps dislodge any bubbles. Now, every minute, on the minute, you want to repeat this process to ensure the developer is evenly mixed throughout the film and there's no underexposed areas when we pull the film out finally. So round and round and round she goes, and when she stops, it's 7.5 minutes. So as we close in on 7.5 minutes, quickly pour out the developer and immediately get that stop bath in there. This just ceases the development of the film and stops it from getting overexposed. You get the lid on and start to agitate it again, just as you did for the developer. After around 15 seconds of developer, pour the developer back out into the jug from whence it came, and you're now ready to move on to the fixer. The final step, we made it. Start the stopwatch one last time, grab your fixer, pour it into the tank, get the lid on, and start your agitation process. Again, 10 seconds at the end of every minute for a total of 3 minutes. At the 3-minute mark, you can pour the fixer out back into the jug you got it from, and now take the tank and stick it under the tap. Just let the water run in there continuously for a few minutes. Every so often, you want to change the water out just to make sure that it's got a lot of fresh water running through and there's no chemicals left behind. I'll then take one last jug, put some of the Antistatic in, or you can use dish soap at this point. It just stops the dust clinging to it. It only takes a few drops in around 500 mils of water. And for the last wash, you pour this in. The moment of truth. Have we done it? Have we done it? I think I spoiled it earlier on in the film, but just to be sure, we're going to open the tank and have a look. There it is. You can see the images. This is the whole reason why we do this. This moment here. I then take the film clip, withdraw the film from the spiral. It should just pull out nice and easily, and you can lift it up to admire your images. Here you can use a specialised film squeegee that costs around £20, or you can just run the film through your fingers. And that's it. All that's left to do now is to walk through the house displaying your images proudly to anyone you walk past, and hang them up somewhere out of the way for them to dry. You want to wait for about an hour before taking them down and cutting them into strips, and at that point you can put them inside some film paper or anywhere nice and flat for you to store them and review at your leisure. You've now done it. And that's it. That's how you develop film at home. It's a really simple process. There's something about pulling the photos out at the end and touching them that really resonates with me, and hopefully it will to you too. I hope this has inspired you to just give it a go. So, if you liked the video, please hit that thumbs up button. Leave a comment down below if there's anything that I wasn't clear about or that you'd like to know more. And if you want to see more content like this, please subscribe and hit the little bell button. It would mean the world to me. Bye for now.